Hi guys, and happy Saturday. I'm back to do another card. I had a little extra time today to get some stuff done. So I'm going to do a card. If you've been on the internet at all, you're seeing that this corner fold card, and let me show you one that's not completed, that this corner fold card is like sweeping all over videos. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do this. We're going to use the He's the Man designer series paper, and that coordinates with the He's All That stamps and dies. We may or may not show this during this video, but the finished picture will show any little embellishments we put on it. Okay, so what you're going to start with is oh my goodness, I'm dropping stuff in the garbage. All right, you're going to start with a regular card base. Oh, I'm sorry. I did show that to you, didn't I? So that's how mine is finished. This is Cajun Craze, Starry Sky, and a retired designer series paper. I always use retired designer series paper on my samples, but then I'll actually go ahead and use current ones on the videos. Now, if you're asking, you're like, well, I don't see where crushed curry is. Just be aware that the crushed curry comes into, because as you can see, there's only 5 different patterns. There's one missing. That's because with this designer series paper, you get sheets of cutouts, and that's where the crushed curry comes in. So these are just punch outs, and maybe I'll put one of those on the finished product. We'll see. All right, but let's go ahead and show you this fun card. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your basic card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I like using a T-square. It seems to help. Let me get my pen from over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to measure in 3 inches. And then, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to hold it up so you can see. So I have 3 inches. I'm going to line that right up to the edge. And then on here, I also have, I don't know if you can see, there's also a ruler there. So this is 5/8 right there. In fact, I'm going to grab my Sharpie and just put a little mark on that 5/8 mark. All right. So a T-square really helps. So I'm going to go in here. So my 3 is on that edge. And I'm going to go up so that mark is right on the 5/8 mark. And what I'm going to do is, hopefully I have this straight. Let me see. It looks like I have it straight. Let me put that. Yeah, the cardstock straight there on that grid line in the grid paper. The 3 is there. I'm going to put my 8th mark, which is right there. And I'm going to put a little dot here. Don't worry, you're not going to see this dot at the end. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down 3. And again, I'm going to take that 5/8 of mark, and I'm going to have it right on the edge of my cardstock. And I'm going to let me make sure this is still straight. Yep, this is on the T, so it's straight. So here we're at the 5/8 is at the edge of the paper. I'm going to come down and make another little mark right at the 3-inch mark. So I have 2 little dots here, and you may not be able to see that too good. All right, so now we're going to take out our trimmer. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put this again so it's straight. Now you want this to be in the channel. So go up here and make sure that little dot's in the channel. Now when you do this, it should be at the 5/8 mark. So 5/8 is right there. I'm going to double check just to see. I have it at the 5/8. And I'm going to go all the way down, cut all the way down to the 3 mark, which is right here. And you're going to make sure this little line goes to that 3 mark. And I'm going to go up just a smidgen to go to that pen mark. Then we're going to flip the card around again so that is in the channel. You see the little mark in the channel? And we're going to lift this up. We're going to start at the 5/8 mark, which is right there. And again, we're going to go down to this 3 mark, and it should meet up. So I'm making sure that this 3-inch line matches up with that 3-inch mark there. And I went a little over, but you can get the gist of it. All right, move that cutting blade out of the way. And now what I like to do is I like to line up these 2 dots in the channel. So I want to make sure that I see those dots in the channel. So you see, it might be hard to see, but there's a dot there and a dot there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score from that dot to the outside of the card. And then I'm going to lift this up and come down to this other dot. So now, as you can see, hopefully you can see, I have the 2 score lines here and the cut. So then all you're going to do is go like that the first time, but the really way the card's going to go is going to go back on itself. Okay, and as you can see, here's my cardstock lined up. You can see that when I cut just a little bit crooked on that. I'm not that terribly worried about it. So that's it for this card base for right now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get, I don't know if these pieces are 3 inches wide. They're not. These have to be 3 3/4. So I'll take my bigger sheet that's right here, and I'm going to try to figure out which one I want to do as my square in here. So let's go ahead and we'll do, I think we'll do the cars. No, we'll do this one. Oh my gosh. All right, you know what? Let's do a layer. So since this is 3 by 3, this square, I'm going to do 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I'm going to give it a little bit because I want to use the cards, but it's going to be 2 tone on tone. So let's go. So here's this. So since this is 2 3/4, our card one is going to be 2 1/2. So now I think I can use these little scraps I have. Let me find that card one. There we go. Let's see. I think this is 2 1/2. Yep. So then I'm going to go 2 1/2 that way. Let's go ahead and layer those all together. I keep knocking over my glue thing. And you know what? I am going to put down the silicone mat so I don't get glue on my my trimmer like I did earlier in the video, as you guys all saw. So I'm going to put just a real layer. I put the tip right down on my paper so that way it's a thinner bead. If you hold it up, you tend to get a wider bead. So let's go ahead and put that on there and press it down. Then we're going to put another bead on here. And we're going to press it down. We're going to go ahead and line that up. And we're going to press it down. All right, so now for this piece here, you can use a coordinating piece of cardstock. I tend to like that and use my DSP on the next. So if you remember, this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 normal base. So we're going to make this 4 by 5 1/4. But you are going to be doing a little bit of a trim. Because remember, we were in 5/8 on that. So what I have done on this is, you see how you want to get that piece off there? I have decided that I'm going to go in and, since this is 4 crossed, it means that there's an inch left. So I'm going to go to that inch line. Let me go up here so you can see. See, that is the inch line, which means this is 3 inches in. And that should work. I hope I did my math right. Let's see. And then you also have to do a little bit of a snip to count for that that little bit where it's folded. All right. I have to do a little bit. Oh no, I have to put this at the 5 inch mark. That's why it's not working. So here's an inch. Here's 5/8, so that's where your cut needs to be. And then I want to make sure this is at 5/8 either. So here's your 1/2 inch. So here's 5/8. That's why it didn't work. I'm like, it worked earlier. All right, so now let's do that. Wrong. All right, I obviously didn't get that 5/8. Let's try this again. Oh my gosh, guys, live. This is what happens when I do things live. So let's go ahead. This is 4 by 5 1/4. That's your normal base. You want this to be at the 5/8 mark. So here's an inch, here's 5/8. So then we want this also to be at that 5/8, which is just a little bit over this side. 5/8, 5/8. Now this should be better. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I was getting that 3 in there. Don't ask me, guys. All right, so see, now this is going to fit, except you have just a little bit because of the fold there. See how that is? So you're just going to take, I'll take my snips. You're just going to do a little, because no one's going to see it under the fold. And there you are. There you have your underlayer. And I know people are saying, well, now wait, you should have gone near the 3 inches to make it lit. I don't really care that there's a little bit there, because I'm probably going to add embellishment or a saying here. So that doesn't matter to me as much. Putting a thin layer of glue down. And then what I like doing is I also like putting a little glue down here and having that flap glued down, just so it stays down, doesn't pop up. So now on this back side, oh, I shouldn't have put glue there. It's all right, because we're going to put a layer there anyway. I forgot. You need to go ahead and do the glue on the underside of the frame. You should have gone along the Cajun craze. Anyway, now on this side, now we're going to take this, I think. Let's see how this looks as, oh, I don't think there's enough contrast. So let's go ahead, let's go to this one that has the patterns on both sides. So do we want it like this and that to be so dark on the inside? I think I want it to be dark this way. Yes. All right. So again, this, I'm going to make it a little layered below. So I'm going to go 4 inches. So we're going one layer down, the 4 inch by the 5 1/4, your standard first layer. Because now when we put in there and center it, see that? Look how nice that looks. All right. So now on this one, this is where you want to put the glue down, but not all the way to the edge, because remember, it's a layer. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do this as a layer. Bring it down a little and press it. So there you are. And then let's go ahead, you know, just for the heck of it, let's take out those cutouts, those outs. Oh my goodness. So let's see what we have here. Let's go ahead and take this one. We're going to pop it up there. Let me get my... Oh, I had the 2 layers together. Yes, there are 2 sheets, people. So there you go. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take some of this edge piece. I'm going to go just like that. Put a little piece up there. All right. go ahead, put that down there. Let's see, which dots do I want there? Let's do, how about classic? No, not the classic MAC dots. Let's see. Trying to think. Iridescent pearl, rhinestones, no. Let me see. Oh, here we go. These are the ones I want to use. They're all stuck together. The brushed metallic adhesive back dots. So let's go ahead. Let me grab my take your pick tool. Let's go ahead and grab a couple of those. And then, yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. And then you could always put your saying inside. You could do, let's do your best dad award, your flippin' awesome, any of this. I think maybe I'll do I need to keep that upside down. All right, and move all this mess over to the side for me to clean up later. Hopefully it doesn't fall down in the middle of my conclusion, but there you go. There is that, I'm not even sure what they call it. I think they call it a fold, corner fold card. I think it's called a corner fold card. But again, it starts off like this. And then with your embellishments and your cardstock and your DSP, it turns into this. All right, guys, thanks for sticking with me during the video. Have a great Saturday, and I'll be back on tomorrow. Bye-bye.